boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. So it looked like day 9 is in the books of training camp for the Cleveland Browns. Man, Shedeur Sanders highlights has been released from today's practice. And just like I told y'all earlier, man, Shedeur is achieving at a very high level. But could he be overachieving? Because I'm telling you right now, based on every story that I have been following and hearing, the Browns do not care. They want to play Deshaun Watson for whatever damn reason. I just hope, if that is the case, Deshaun Watson keep it 100 with Shedeur and let him know that. Now, with that being said, man, we have to get into Shedeur Sanders highlights of the day. They have been released. Let's check them out right now. Judging off all of these clips that has been coming out, like this play here, Shedeur's making good reads. He's getting the ball out fast. Now, there isn't a pass rush coming, obviously, but I just hope Shedeur stay consistent. See, the biggest thing is for Shedeur to stay consistent. Whenever Carson Beck went out there yesterday, Carson Beck looked it great because he consistently threw the ball. He made the right reads, didn't make any reads, didn't hold on to the ball too long. He was releasing the ball. He was changing the play. He was doing everything a young quarterback needs to do that is not a starter. He needs to earn his spot, and that's exactly what he did. I feel like so far, you know, but I'm telling you right now, preseason start next week. I think we're going to see a lot of Shedeur getting reps during preseason. Do not be surprised if we see a lot of Shedeur getting the majority of the reps, because I'm telling you right now, if we see Deshaun Watson play like 1 or 2 series, I'm convinced he's starting, bro. I don't want to believe that, but I believe if we see him for a lot of short series, he's probably going to start the damn game, man. Now, the QB tracker also has been released from ESPN Cleveland, and I'm just tired of even looking at this because, to be honest with you, it's the same stuff that happened last year, bro. Shedeur did well, 9 of 15, 0 interceptions, 0 touchdown, 1 interception. My apologies. Deshaun Watson, 13 of 23, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Dylan Gabriel, 4-6. Now, the one and only, everybody loved to hate Mary Kay. She released a video kind of breaking it down, and I keep telling y'all, as much as we do not like Mary Kay, I know we don't like her. We gotta listen to her, bro, because she's getting the juice. She's getting the news that everybody ain't getting. Some of your favorite content creators ain't getting the news that Mary Kay is getting. She's plugged into the Browns like a socket. I can promise you it's very plugged in, bro. And everything she been saying has been the truth. I have to be honest with you, bro. It has.
Camp for the
Let's
first time. They moved indoors into the field house. It was a kind of shorter practice. There were no pads today. It was just helmets. They'll be back in pads on Saturday as they wrap up this 6-day stretch of practices. Mary Kay, we got a very up close look at the quarterbacks today being indoors, and they did a lot of teamwork, whether it was 11 on 11 or 7 on 7. These guys ran a ton of plays and threw the football a lot today.
They did, and they aired it out inside the field house as much as you can inside the field house. And there were some good plays, there were some bad plays. Each one of the quarterbacks threw an interception today. But then at the end, in the 2-minute drill, Deshaun, who was working with the first team, threw a really nice ball to Isaiah Bond for the touchdown in the 2-minute drill. That's what you want to do. You want to end that with a touchdown. And then in Shedeur's 2-minute drill, he threw a short pass over the middle to Raheem Sanders, and then Winston Reed swooped in, punched it out of there, and recovered the ball. So unfortunately for the second group, they couldn't get that done. But I thought there were some nice deeper balls today when they weren't getting picked off. We saw Shedeur threw a nice deep ball to KC. We saw Deshaun throw another deep ball to Isaiah Bond on the sideline. Gage caught a couple of nice deep balls. And so it was a day where, there was kind of something going on in the deeper passing game, and they have to start doing that.
Yeah, and I think Ashley, just overall, it was a very, I guess it was a little bit of everything, right? There was some good, there was some bad. They didn't get a lot of help at times. Other times they did. I mean, Mary Kay mentioned Gage made a nice catch. He also had a drop. Malachi Corley had a drop. It was just it was kind of everything from these quarterbacks and this offense today.
It really was kind of a microcosm of the good and the bad so far that we've seen in camp. And again, they didn't have the pads on today, so take that for what it is, I guess, more than anything. But I did think, and Dan, I think you said the same thing as well. This was Isaiah Bond's best day, I thought, of training camp, like one of the better days we've seen from him since the spring. Both of those guys were looking for him today, and he had chances to make some plays.
Yeah, Mary Kay. I mean, Isaiah had so much momentum coming out of the spring, and I feel like so much of the attention has been on the rookies and sort of what Jerry Jeudy is doing every day. Isaiah sort of hasn't done a lot. And today we saw a lot more Isaiah Bond, even on one of those picks. Deshaun Watson was looking for Isaiah Bond. He ended up overthrowing him, but we did see a lot more number 0 out there today.
Right, and he is their speedy, deep threat, and they really need him to be on point this season because they want to hit those explosives. And they've got other weapons, but he is your go ball receiver. And so they really need him to be out there catching those touchdown passes and the long ones. So it was good to see him get back involved a little bit because KC Concepcion and Denzel Boston have sort of been stealing most of the headlines. Now you're seeing as they start to move towards their starting 11, and we're going to be seeing more and more of this. You will see three wides with three of those guys, sometimes four wides. You're going to start to see the personnel groupings, but all of those starters are going to be in there together. It's time to get the 11 starters working together on this offense, honing it, perfecting it, and getting it ready to go out and try to beat the Jaguars.
Yeah, and that's been one of the benefits, I think, of all of these injuries that have piled up that have sort of taken two spotting and put it to the side. And then, of course, indoors, you can't really two spot here in their field house. Actually, we have seen a lot of this first team offense. Now they're still trying to figure things out: who's the left tackle, who's the right guard. But we have seen these quarterbacks going with the first team get to throw the ball to those rookies, to Jerry Jeudy, to Isaiah Bond.
Yeah, I know. Even when we were talking about this idea that KC Concepcion and Denzel Boston needed to maybe go against these first team DBs a bit more, we haven't talked about that recently because they haven't been two spotting. And when they wouldn't be going against those guys, it would be during those two spotting periods. So they were down, basically the same number of people again today. A handful of people came back. We know Mason Graham, we saw him back in team drills, and then the two centers looked like Parker Brailsford, or no, was it Parker Brailsford or was it Luke? And it was in there again at center. So yeah, just overall, I think the injuries are still very much playing a factor here.
Now, let's spend a little time on that defense because they did have those interceptions. So we probably should talk a little bit about their performance. And of course, Winston Reed had the punch out. Emmanuel McNeil Warren has started to kind of make a little bit of a push here. He had that pass breakup earlier this week where it looked like he was shot out of a cannon to make the play on a Shedeur Sanders ball. And then, of course, he has the interception today. Mary Kay Denzel Ward also had one of the interceptions. But to see, when we talk so much about these young rookie receivers, right, and how good they've been, but to see the rookie safety Emmanuel McNeil Warren perform like this week has certainly been a positive.
It really has. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be out there starting from week one. He's really good. He's a ball hawk. He's got great instincts, and he has been showing those this week. Really nice interception today, as you mentioned, the big pass breakup. He's going to pair very nicely with Grant Delpit, who's also been making some really nice plays this week. So I think it's going to be a formidable safety group, no question about it. And I think we're going to see a ton of E-Man.
And he really does, Ashley, just kind of come out of nowhere when you see him make these plays, whether it was that pass breakup, whether even this interception today, it was like, oh, there's number 28. He has the football. He really does just kind of come out of nowhere to make these plays.
He does, and I've been talking to some people at Toledo about him, or the former Toledo coaching staff now about him, and they said that this was stuff they saw on his high school tape, that even his ability with that sort of punch out that we know he's so good at, they didn't have to teach him really any of this. He just has a knack for the ball. I think it might be because he did play a lot of receiver growing up. That was the position he thought he was going to play up until he got into high school, and you really are seeing it out there on the field. Those tendencies Mary Kay talked about. And I think the other nice thing for this defense is he's kind of the best of both worlds in terms of Grant Delpit. I think plays his best in the box, closer to the line of scrimmage. Ronnie Hickman has that deep safety spot locked up, but Eban can kind of do both things. I know at Toledo they said they liked him closer to the line of scrimmage because he's such a ferocious tackler, but he really can do whatever they need in this defense.
Okay.